Hi there, Tammy Beard here with Stampin' Savvy. Thanks so much for joining me. Today I want to share with you a gift box for note cards. On the website last week I shared with you 13 different ideas on how to create some simple note cards, and I got a comment from Deborah asking how I gift them, because I did share that this is one of my favorite gifts that I like to give to friends and family. So Deborah, this is for you as well as anybody else that would like to make these. Got a couple examples for you, and then we're going to make a box together. So the first one I want to show you is this one. This is made with designer series paper. This is the Floral Romance specialty designer paper that's in the new Spring Occasions catalog. Isn't that gorgeous? Now this one features, it's an envelope box, and it features a belly band that just slips right off, and then you'll notice that the cards are inside. So in this case, I've gifted a set of 7 of the embossed note cards that I shared on the blog last week. And I'll include links in the blog post as well as on the YouTube description for these note cards if you'd like to make them. These are my all-time favorite note cards, the handmade embossed note cards. They're just so easy to do. But what I like about the designer series paper is that it gives you both patterns on both the outside and the inside. So you've got this beautiful leaves on the outside, and then you've got this real fun wood grain on the inside. And then with the belly band, then you can just, take out what you need, and then you slip it back on. Now this features the Forever Lovely stamp set is what I used to decorate that with. Isn't that beautiful? So it's got the wishing you a lovely day, and then I've used the 2-step stamping with the flowers in one color, and then your leaves in another color. So in this case, it was the Floral Romance Specialty Designer Series paper. That's Pear Pizzazz cardstock, Mossy Meadow cardstock, the Pear Pizzazz cardstock, and then Very Vanilla. So this one is, these two here are made with the stitched layers. The stitched framelits set. And then this one is made with the layering circles set, the scallop there. And then that's the Very Vanilla lace trim. But really simple, easy to do. And that can be, for anything. That could be a wedding shower gift. This could be a birthday, which is what it's going to be for a sweet somebody in my family. I'm not going to say who because they might be watching. Now this one is made with cardstock, and this one is with Balmy Blue. And in this case, I have brought in the needle and thread bundle. So I've stamped the flower, cut it out with the die, and then I've used some of the accent pieces to do that decorating right there. And then this is the Night of Navy gingham ribbon. And then I also did this fun thing where I embossed the envelope flap, or the flap of the box, I should say, with a basket weave textured impressions embossing folder. Now, the reason that I have used the needle and thread bundle is because on the inside, they are the needle point elements. They've been die cut, and then I used the Gingham Gala designer series paper to create this set of note cards, and then with matching envelopes. So it comes in all 5 of the Gingham Gala colors, and beautiful set of 5 in here. And then I've also put in, as an idea, I've put in some stamps. And then another thing that I like to do that's real fun is, you'll notice that this is a little bit wider than the actual note cards, is you can get little pins. I don't remember what they're called. You can get them on Amazon, sometimes the dollar store, and they go really nicely in there. So it's kind of like giving a gift set. Just really nice way to kind of just, again, dress up the gift a little bit more. So what I'm going to show you today is we're going to do the cardstock one. It'll be a little bit easier for you to see the lines, the scoring lines as we cut it. And then I also want to show you how to do the embossing on this one, as well as how to do the ribbon on this one. And then I'll also give you the instructions on how to do the belly band, what the scoring measurements are for this. Really simple and easy to do. Okay, so let's get started. what we're going to be using is the envelope punch board. And I know a lot of people say, oh, I don't need the envelope punch board. I'm not going to make envelopes. And I totally agree. It's great for that. But personally, I don't really make envelopes very often myself either. But I do love to use this for all kinds of other things. So I do recommend it. Okay, it comes with its own bone folder. We're going to use that. And then what I've got here is we're going to start with a piece of cardstock. This one is Coastal Cabana. And the reason that I've chosen Coastal Cabana is that we're going to be making the box to go with these note cards. And whoops, I set my note card over there. So I made this shared this on the blog last week. This is my favorite from the Butterfly Gala stamp set. I showed 3 different cards that you can make with this set, and this one was my favorite. So I'm going to make some more of this to go in this box. So we're going to color coordinate the box to go with these cards. So Coastal Cabana, and what I've done is I've taken an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock and I've cut it at 8.5 inches. So it's 8.5 inches wide by 8.5 inches long. We're going to go ahead and put it into our envelope punch board here, and we're going to line up this left side at 3 inches. Now you only need to remember the measurements for the first part because then we're going to just rotate as we go. But there's a pattern to this, and the pattern is always to punch and then we're going to score. Now there is a groove that is in this punch board. Now you're going to kind of run off the board here, and that's okay. But I want to show you there's a groove line that runs here, and that's what you're trying to find. Now the cardstock is much heavier than designer series paper, so I do recommend with the cardstock that you go slow. Find that groove and then just go slow as you go down. Okay, so we did the first one at 3 inches. Now we're going to move it over to 4 inches. We're going to punch, and then again you're going to just follow that groove all the way down. Okay, now from this point on, all we're going to be doing is we're going to be matching up that little guide right there with the lines that we've already created, okay? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to punch, and then we're going to score. You're going to scoot it over, you're going to line it up with that second one, punch, and score. Rotate it around, line that up, make sure that it's up against, flat up against your guideline at the top, punch, and score. It's going to go off, not a problem. Line it up with the second line, punch, and score. Okay, last one. We're going to line that up, punch, and score. Move it over, punch, and score. Okay, now we're going to go ahead, going to get rid of those. We're going to rotate this around. There's a corner rounder on this side. So now that you've got your piece, what I want you to see is you've got 2 smaller flaps, and then you have 2 larger flaps. So we're going to pick one of those, and we're going to round the corner. That's going to be our top flap that gets folded over right here, the one that you're going to see. The one that's on the inside, you're not going to notice. You're not going to see that, so we're not going to worry about that one. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to set that aside, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to burnish our, going to go ahead and burnish all of those lines with the bone folder that we have. Oops. Okay, last one here. Okay, now what we're going to do is, that's our top. That's the one that's rounded. This is the one at the bottom. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come in and we're going to just snip this. Okay, and that's going to be an inside flap for the bottom. Okay, So those are going to be our flaps for the bottom, and then there's our box, just like that. Now this one can be a flap, or what I like to do is I like to just remove this, because we really don't need those flaps at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut that square completely out. Okay, and if it does that, don't worry about it, because it's going to be folded over like that. Okay, so now we've got our box like this. Now the one thing is that with a smaller box like this, this is a 4-bar size is what they call it. I don't like this piece here that stands up like that. So what I do is I come in with a pencil and I am going to mark this, okay? And then I'm going to just bring this over. I'm just going to try and get that straight. Doesn't have to be exact. What I'm trying to do is get this line parallel with this line, or at least pretty close to it. And then, whoops, and then we're just going to, what we're going to do here is now, when we put this together, that's going to be, oops, get the flaps up here. That will be kind of tucked under like that. And so that to me looks better. You could also just cut that off if you wanted to, whatever works best for you, whatever you like. Okay, now before we do anything more, we're going to do a couple of things. We're going to go ahead and do the embossing on the flap, and then we're also going to be marking our spots for our ribbon. Now for this one, I have chosen to use the glittered organdy ribbon in this black shimmer, because I'm matching up I like the black in the butterflies, and so I thought that would just be kind of fun. It's kind of sparkly. This has got the Wink of Stella's shimmer on it. I don't know if you can see that. So it's going to kind of mimic the shimmer, and then it's going to bring out that black from the butterflies. So this is 3/8 inches wide. So what I'm going to do is, while this is open, I'm going to take and I'm going to match this up. And what we're trying to do is finding the halfway point. And I just like to try and find something that's an easy point. Okay, so there's 5.5. So 2 3/4 would be the midpoint, and we're just trying to get close. So what we're doing is you're going to be drawing or cutting a line that's 3/8 inches wide here at the top, and then we're going to do the same thing here at the bottom. Let me get this 5.5, get that lined up. So that's about the midpoint, and we're going to do a line here. Okay, now I'm going to bring in my X-Acto knife. You could also use, your paper snips if you didn't have an X-Acto knife. And we're just going to take and we're going to just do a line that's going to go through. And I'm just kind of guessing about the width here. I'm probably a little wide, but that's okay. We just want to make sure that our ribbon is going to feed through there. And yep, it does. Let's check the bottom one here. And nope, that's not quite wide enough at the bottom right here. Okay, yep, and that one's going to go through. Okay, so now we're going to go through. I'm going to bring in the Bake Shop machine. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to do just the flap. So we're going to need to fold this in because it's going to have to go through the machine. And I've decided I'm going to try the Garden Trellis designer, or the Garden Trellis embossing folder. So what we're going to do is we're going to take, and I'm going to match up that line right here where the edge of the pattern is to the first fold line, because it's a box, and so I only want to emboss from this point down. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to open this up, and we're going to go ahead and line that up, and I'm going to kind of center that in the pattern. So I don't know if you can see, you can barely see that fold line in there and how it's lined up to the edge of that pattern right there. Okay, so then we're going to bring in our second cutting pad, and again I'm going to fold that back in. We're going to go ahead and put this down, trying to keep that from moving. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to feed this in. Now we don't have to go all the way through this. In fact, there it is. We're just going to take it right back out. I'm not even going to worry about taking that through. And there you go. Absolutely gorgeous. Now that's the back side of it, which looks really cool too. So actually you could choose which side that you liked. If you liked that side, flip the folder around. And I really wasn't thinking about that when I did it. Both of those look really cool. But in this case, we're going with that one. Okay, so let's set this off to the side. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and we are going to put it together. So we're going to open this back up. I'm going to go ahead and bring my pencil in. Let's take off these lines. We don't need those here. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to feed this through. So we're going to go ahead and feed this through. And I want to make sure that the glitter is on the outside, and it is. So the glitter is face down in here. And actually, let's do this a different way. Let's go this way with it. I'm going to feed this through. So we're going to leave this on, and we're going to start from the top. And your ribbon is on the inside. Okay. And we're going to feed that through. Okay. And while this is still on, we're going to just leave that on the spool and then cut it out when we know that we have enough. Okay. So this is going to go like this. So now what we're going to do is we're going to bring in our snail. And we're going to be putting some snail here and here. Oops. Trying to do this sideways here. Not very well. And then underneath the flap here. Okay. Fold these flaps up and in. That goes underneath. Now you're setting the box up at this point, so you kind of want to just look and get it square. And you're going to pinch that in place. Okay, flap is in, and we are trying to get this side square. And then this is just going to fold down inside. There you go, and there is our box. We're going to go ahead and we're going to put our card in, which there's going to be a whole set of cards eventually. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and close this up. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut this off. We're going to give this a tie. And then you kind of futz with that until you like that. And then what I usually do is after that, then I'll come in, after I've futzed with it a little bit, and then I'll come in and I will trim my ribbon at the end when I know that I've got the bow that I want. Now for this one, I've gone ahead and I have stamped, colored, and punched out with the coordinating punch an extra butterfly. And I've just got a glue dot on here because I want to just glue this in the center. I want the wings to be free to lift up. Now I could have stamped the antenna on here, but I wouldn't know exactly where I wanted them. So I'm just going to come in with the basic black marker, and we're going to do that. You could also do a little contrail line if you wanted, a little dotted line, and decorate that up. And there you go. That is as easy as it is. There is your 4-bar box for note. So let me show you real quick how to do the belly band if you would like to do that instead of the ribbon. So we're going to start off with a piece of cardstock. This is Pear Pizzazz, and it's 2 inches wide by 10 inches long. Now you can do this on your Stampin' Trimmer. I have the scoreboard. I prefer to do it on that. I think it's a little bit easier, but you just do whatever works for you. So we're going to take, and for cardstock, I like to use the wider of the tip on the stylus, and we're going to do 1 7/8 a score line. We're going to do 2 5/8 for the second one. Then we're going to jump over to 6 1/2, and then 7 1/4. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and set this aside. And we're just going to come in and just, let's go ahead and burnish these. Oops, on the back right. Okay, and one more. Okay. And there is our belly band right here. And a really easy way to close this up is, what I like to do is go ahead, let's pretend that that's not there. Okay, now I've got the box and I've got my cards inside of it. And I like to do it with the cards inside because that kind of is going to be the fit that you're going to need. So let's go ahead and wrap this around the box. Now what you want to do is, you notice that it's a little bit loose, and you want to keep it that way because you want to be able to slip it on and off very easily. So now that that's in place, let me show you a really quick and easy way to do the adhesive. Flip that one up, put the adhesive on the underside of it, leave that one in place, and put the adhesive on top. Now you're going to come and you're going to just put these back together. And again, you want to kind of leave it a little bit loose, and you're just lining this up, and that's as simple as it is. And now you've got the belly band that will slip on and off easily, and you can decorate that as you like. So if we bring this one back in, again, we've got the layering circles. Framelits dies was used for that scallop, and then the stitch shapes framelits created the 2 circles with the stitching. Just layered on there with a little bit of ribbon. And then I did the stamping, and then I die cut that after I had done the stamping. So just really easy, but you can decorate this however you like. Easy as that. So let's bring them back in. Let's switch this out with the finished belly band. So you've got the designer paper one that goes with the embossed cards. And we've got the one that we just finished that is for the butterfly gala cards. And then we've got the needle and thread bundle that has the die cut with the gingham matching envelopes cards that's been decorated. So 3 examples for you on how to do these note card boxes and gift them away. Really simple and quick, easy to do. Inexpensive gifts. Like I said, you can dress them up as much as you want to with the stamps and the pen, but just a really, really sweet gift to give. All of the supplies are available in my online store at stampinsavvy.com/shop, and I would appreciate your business. Thanks so much for watching. I love your comments and your feedback, so please leave them for me. So until next time, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.